That's just. It just felt like there was a weight. It just felt like there was a fucking brick in my chest that entire game. So just sitting down, talking about it, I just want to start with. Because that's how that fucking game felt. Um, Finally got a win today versus a team with an above 500 win percentage. Um, yeah, to a degree, Britton Johnson, I'm surprised too. Um, I mean, this kind of had a hint of trap game written on it, but let me just say this: we finally won against a team with above 50% win percentage. That's great. But I'm not going to come on here and say, with that being said, I'm not going to fucking come on here and say, oh, well, a win is a win, guys. You've got me fucked up. And if that's what you're coming on here expecting to hear, you're on the wrong channel. For any newcomers that might be on here, if you think that I'm gonna come on and say that a win is a win, I'm sorry, but that game was fucking embarrassing. Um, it was an offensive shootout. Neither team punted the entire game. Came down to the wire. The Seattle Seahawks, I think they lost their third game in a row now. I think they're now were they 6-5, 6-6 now, I think. And the Dallas Cowboys are 9-3. Um, it was hard fought at the very end. The defense really had to tighten up on those last two drives, and that's great. But it's this defense is a fucking joke. Dan Quinn, you need to take your candy ass out of that fucking cozy, warm, comfy booth and be down on the field with your guys. I genuinely feel like that might help the defense a little bit. I at this point I want to try anything because people going into this game were like, "Ah, the Dallas Cowboys defense is so good," and I'm just listening to that. And I'm going, I don't know. I don't exactly. There's no fucking shot we can do that versus Philadelphia next week. We have 10 days to fucking prepare for that game. 10 days. Okay? The Eagles are going to have roughly half that time. There's no way in fuck that we can play down to our competition like that horribly. Exactly. That's the story of the game, especially on that drive, on those couple of drives actually leading into halftime. On that final drive, the Seattle Seahawks scored on us three different times, and all of it was fucking effortless. it that's putting that's putting it in the simplest of terms. TTFC, the Travis Frederick Company. That's putting it. That is so beyond putting it lightly. Just the amount of times that we are capable of making it in the red zone and still bitch out and still puss out in any thinkable way, whether it be penalties or sacks given up by Terrence Steele or a holding penalty by Terrence Steele or illegal man downfield by Tyler Smith. It's fucking disgusting, and I am sick and tired also of seeing constant Tony Pollard being run straight up the middle. That's not what Tony Pollard is best at doing. Obviously, he's best at being a secondary running back, but in a starting running back situation, you have other options to use him. You have other options. Run it outside for fucking once. Do a read option. Just mix it up somehow, some way. Do something, anything different. I need. Okay, look, Rico Dowdle, I'm not riding his nuts. He just runs the ball harder. He just runs more angrier. A running back like him is better fit to be running him up the middle. Try Hunter Lupke. Because being in the shotgun formation 100% of the time within the 10-yard line or within the 5-yard line, that is a recipe for disaster waiting to happen when you're just trying to fucking punch the ball in. That is how soft our running game is, and I don't know why we're so reluctant to change anything. Anything at all. It's absolutely despicable. Oh my God. They got outplayed so many times. Like, in the second quarter, in the third quarter especially, the defense, my fucking God. The defense, like, something's got to change. DaRon Bland, you put the Defensive Player of the Year talks to a halt. You ceased those conversations in record time. You got the most pick sixes in NFL history, and you just kicked your feet up from there, it felt like. But you got abused the entire game by DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Tyler Lockett, I believe. He got an interception. That's great. And that's another thing that pissed me off. We got 0 points. 0 points from that interception. That is a disaster waiting to happen when you're going against actual competent teams. Okay, yes, the Seattle Seahawks, they do have a winning record, but the Seattle Seahawks are not contenders. Okay, the farthest they're making in the postseason is maybe the divisional round. If we're contenders, we need to hold ourselves to contender standards. And we cannot go out and do that shit if we want to consider ourselves contenders. I don't understand why we went for it on fourth down in that situation when you get the lead back with a field goal. So we are very, 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 very fortunate that we were still even in this game by the time we were like 5 minutes, left of the fourth quarter. Unbelievably fortunate with the amount of times that we fucked up and could not finish long and productive drives in the red zone once we got in the red zone, and going for it on fourth down unnecessarily. CeeDee Lamb, he had a fantastic game, but man, he had some very crucial drops. He dropped that ball on fourth down. I think that was a drive after the DaRon Bland pick, and the ball went right through his hands, I'm pretty sure, on that same exact drive in the end zone. You can't expect everybody to be on it 100% of the time, but those were killer for us. That is execution. And I don't even fucking Christ. Don't even get me started on the penalties. It's just every time they scored a touchdown and there was a flag on us on that same play, it was like adding a drop of lemon to the fucking open wound. It was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing how undisciplined the team is, how they can't execute when we need them to execute, how we are so one-dimensional in the run game, and on top of that, the defense is fucking used jizz fucking tissue paper. Jesus fucking Christ. We went out there and we looked like the Bills. Like that's thank you, Bryn Johnson, for saying that. If the Cowboys play like this against Eagles, Bills, and Dolphins, it's gonna go bad quick. Absolutely. We looked like the Bills out there today. I was seeing shades of the Bills and Eagles game last Sunday. You cannot look that weak, especially not on prime time. I could already imagine Eagles fans and Niners fans, they're laughing their fucking asses off, licking their chops right now because we don't look that much different compared to the previous 2 seasons. Okay, yeah, we finally got a win versus an opponent with an above 50% win percentage. That's amazing. But you got to take advantage of the opportunities that will help you win the game convincingly. Winning games convincingly, making those impressions before the postseason is what puts the league on notice. We demand so much respect from the fucking media. Well, we're not doing ourselves any favors when we go out and have embarrassing performances like that. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the offense. You know, they put up 41 points. They did what they needed to do. You know, but there's, oh my God. The defense did absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing to help this game until the final 2 minutes of the game, which is great. Which is great. We have to demand better than that. We have to if we want to keep up with some of the best in the NFL right now. And the NFL is very, very fraudulent. But looking at how we performed tonight, we weren't exactly on the top of the mountain. That's putting it very lightly. Yeah, Dak, fucking Christ. He had a fantastic game today, too. But CeeDee Lamb, he just dropped it. Shaquille Leonard. Is that the name of the Colts linebacker that recently visited the Cowboys and Eagles? He's a name. Would he really add that much to the defense, though? I'm really not sure. I really don't know anything about the guy, but you know, if he's half the player he used to be, I guess LVE's career is seriously in jeopardy, from what I understand the situation. Yeah, just it's going to take a lot more than one player though to fix this defense. This defense is just absolutely in shambles. And credit, they clutched up in the very end when they needed to, but it shouldn't have come down to that in the first place. 0 fucking punts. 0 fucking punts forced by Seattle, one of the most struggling offenses in the National Football League. Weren't able to slow him down up until that point, not even once, is fucking embarrassing. That is just completely inexcusable. Oh yeah. I can see it now too. I can see DeMarcus Lawrence getting beat like 5 times by that already. Because he can't defend the outside for some fucking reason. I guess the curse will be lifted until Jimmy Johnson's name is physically in the Ring of Honor. That's our only hope, because it's same old from what I'm seeing. It was a very gutsy performance by Dak Prescott. I don't know if he missed any throw tonight, truthfully. Mike McCarthy, you are a dumb shit. not only for those horrible play calls you made when we were within the 10, 5 yard line or within the red zone in general, but also on that last drive, third down with like a minute 50 seconds remaining, and you throw the ball in the end zone, and you have to rely on CeeDee Lamb with the most pathetic flop I've ever seen in my life to get us a first down at the very least. That is stupid. That never should have happened. I don't understand why we were even in the fucking shotgun formation to begin with. Um, it just that did not make any sense. That was horrible, horrible, horrible clock management right there that was being demonstrated. Fucking absolutely horrible. If this was the Philadelphia Eagles, they would have taken advantage of that and they would have won this game. Especially with how our defense just played. That was fucking abysmal. There was our defense gave us nothing, like next to nothing until that point that told us, yeah, if we throw the ball and it's incomplete, it's not the end of the world because of the defense. There was nothing that should have given you confidence to throw the ball and risk an incomplete pass on that down. That was fucking stupid. Tony Pollard, it's bad enough that he can't really gain that many yards with the way that we're using him, but he's really pushing the narrative that the Cowboys would be better off without him when he drops a touchdown pass literally in his face, which he did earlier in the game, and I think that drive resulted in a field goal. It's just keeping the game close because we can't execute or because we can't manage the clock properly or we can't utilize our players properly. It's just, or penalties on top of penalties on top of penalties on top of penalties. It's one thing after another. And there's just nothing about this team that says contenders after looking like that. Sure, they got the win. Sure, their win-loss record is cute. But actually watching the on-field production, it is sad. There is no fucking reality where you can go into the postseason looking like that and expect positive results. Yeah, that's the thing too. Fucking DK Metcalf is practically a carbon copy of AJ Brown, but he didn't struggle that badly against AJ Brown. I don't feel like, but at the same time, I feel like our corners were playing a bit more aggressive. Um, playing closer to the line of scrimmage and not fucking 10 yards backwards, which I'm pretty sure is what we did versus the Eagles. But I mean, yeah, all the things that contributed to us losing versus the Philadelphia Eagles transpired again tonight and almost costed us a win again. So it's nothing new. It's nothing different. The West Coast offense is no more. We're finally confident throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage, which is great. But fundamentally, like we got the same issues. Punching the ball in the end zone when we're within the red zone. Just execution in points that we need them the very most. Poor clock management, penalties. I cannot talk about it enough because it's all we've been seeing the whole fucking season and games that have been close. against teams that aren't 1-10 or 4-7 or whatever. Oh, Charbonnet, absolutely, absolutely. God, Jesus Christ. Ah. But I've invested enough time talking about the things that brutally pissed me off in this game. But I have to give credit where it's due. CD Lamb, when he fucked up a couple times in the third quarter on that one drive, overall, fantastic game. Um, Dak Prescott had a fantastic game as well, yet another one. Playing absolutely lights out since that 49ers game, honestly. Um, what else? That one play where he escaped a sack and threw it to I always forget this fucking guy's name. Our third round draft pick at wide receiver, Jalen Tolbert. Threw it to Jalen Tolbert on the sideline, tippy toes. That was a fucking thing of beauty. Love that. Jake Ferguson, fantastic game all day. He was clutch. He's looking like the next great Dallas tight end. I'm excited to see how he can grow and be a better player, be a bigger, more physical player next season. Um, I, I don't know where Cavante Turpin was the entire game. Um, Michael Gallup, I see him getting most of the snaps. Did he even get one catch, or better yet, even one target the entire game? It's just we got to move on from him. Are there really that many people still buying his jersey today? I mean, what other what other reason is there for us keeping fucking Michael Gallup and keeping guys like uh, Jalen Tolbert, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and fuck. At this point, I'll even give fucking Martavis Bryant a shot. What are we gaining from keeping those dudes on the sideline and keeping Michael Gallup out there? Who's is he like gaining any special attention from the defenses? I don't think so. It's just it's just frustrating. Defense, we were getting pressure. We were getting, good amount of pressure on the quarterback, but they were just smart. They were just getting rid of the ball really quick, and they were able to also because our secondary is softer than baby shit. The miscommunications on defense, those were bad also. They had a real good running game against us too. It's seriously a miracle that it was this close. Um, the only good thing I can say about the defense is the pressure and how they were able to lock down on those final two drives when we needed them the most. That is fucking huge. That was very clutch. That was very huge on in this week's game. That's what I'm saying. Why isn't he out there more? And I feel like same thing for Rico Dowdle too. Same thing for him. Do I think when Dag's girl was giving birth, Dag was in there yeah, here we go! Here we go! I mean, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be under there like I'm receiving the snap. My future wife is gonna be handing off the fucking baby. That's exactly. I would not be surprised if somebody actually does that, and that like goes viral before the season's over. Also, congratulations to Dak Prescott for having a baby soon. Um, but yeah, anyways, that's probably all the positives that I gotta say about this game. The negatives, I go off about those the longest, and I preach about those the most because that's the most consistent thing about this team. It it genuinely is. But with that being said, tomorrow's Victory Friday. 9-3. It's not one that I particularly feel good about, but we got 10 days until we go against the Philadelphia Eagles at home, Sunday Night Football, I believe. Another primetime game, and the lights are going to be even brighter. Way, way, way brighter than going against Geno Smith and the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. Or, sorry. My brain is fucking scrambled. And going against Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. Brain fart. Gotta try different things. We gotta experiment a bit more with this running game. I feel like there's something there. There's something there with the talent that we have. But it's just despicable. And the penalties really fucking piss me off. It's like when we go against teams above 500, all of a sudden penalties are an issue. And it's not just versus Philadelphia. Oh, the fucking refs were bad. This happened versus San Francisco 49ers, and this happened tonight too. Okay, it was on national fucking television. Everybody saw it. So it's a problem. This team shits themselves when the lights are the brightest. Anyways, my phone's at 5%. I gotta go. Enjoy this win if you want to. 9-3, Philadelphia. I'll see you fuckers next weekend. Enjoy y'all's Victory Friday. Enjoy y'all's weekend. I'll be paying very close attention to the Eagles and Niners game. Hopefully I get that this Sunday. I'll see y'all next time. In peace.